Hi friends, it's Aubrey from Crybaby Sentimental Homestead. It's Saturday morning, so you know where I like to go. Let's go see if we can find some yard sales and find some good deals. Let's go. I found one. It looks kind of small, but let's go see. You never know, there might be some treasures, even at the small yard sale. So let's go see. Might be surprised.
Okay. We negotiate with the prices. I think somewhere in Germany I see. Oh, that's good. Yeah, yeah. I think I told.
It's a choice, it's a decision. It's something that we can choose to exercise, and if we do, it'll get stronger. Love your spouse like a stronger. What does SPO do when they're confused? They study something until it's clear. What's their personality type, their spiritual gift, their love language? What makes them laugh until they cry? They may have changed over time. So if you figure out what makes them tick, you can more and more.
But I was thinking those androids are hard to burn, don't they kind of melt?
No. That's why this is around it, so it kind of keeps it contained. Represents them pretty well.
When he tattoos, you mean you should wear that?
Mom.
Mama.
The select things are half price, so, you know, you just ask us.
So true. Sometimes humans think we don't need Jesus till we really need him or let him know. The truth is every hour. You can get your tickets at
Mom.
Amazon.com.
What year is Darby? What, 2018?
2018, wow.
What a score, you guys. They did half price on all of their prices. That was fabulous. I spent $15. I got a pair of slides for my daughter and my youngest son. Cross, a really beautiful cross. I think it was like 5 or 6 little jar mugs, which are adorable, and several other things, some little art projects, some jewelry. I couldn't believe it. $15, and I got basically 2 baskets of stuff. Wow. That was really a great deal, and I was not having high expectations since it looked smaller and we are very overcast, kind of cloudy. Looks like it's going to rain. But wow, that was probably enough for today, but I'm going to see if there are any more sales. When you're doing your yard sales, if you're going to have a yard sale, make sure you have good signs out. The last 2 signs, they looked identical to each other. So you're kind of thinking, did I already go to it? But it's really nice when they write their address on the sign. And another thing is when you have to make a turn, if you can make those arrows really clear, sometimes the size of the triangle is the same size as the line. So make those triangles nice and big so you can see which direction you're supposed to go. But I found it and I'm going to go see what they have. Let's go look around. We'll call that one a loss. I'm sorry. Their prices were like a consignment shop. They had $6 movies, used movies. You're not sure if they're going to have an issue. $12 bicycle covers, $10 for this, $15 for that. Yeah, we're going to pass. Let's go on to the next one. I was going to say that was a real waste, except for I got to see the neighbor's really beautiful primroses. Let me see if I can get it on video. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's beautiful. So it wasn't all a waste. Let's look around somewhere else. What a cute little garden. I got lost, you guys. I'm lost. But I love it when I get lost and I find really cute places. Their garden is so cute, and they've got this like silvery, like mylar tape around the garden. I assume that's to keep the birds out. What a cute idea. Look at that. I love it. Isn't that cute? What a lovely garden. I am officially lost. Okay, we'll keep driving. Okay, I'm not lost anymore, but I wanted to pause and have a little reflection moment with you. So when I was trying to find my way out of the maze from looking at a yard sale, I got lost and I found myself in a very nice neighborhood. And it's only like probably half a mile from where I live, maybe. And yet, some people have much, much nicer homes. And I have to tell myself to have humble expectations in life. A couple years back, before the housing market went so crazy, we had an opportunity where we could have sold our home and purchased a house that would have been almost 3 times the size with about the same size yard in a very nice neighborhood. And every once in a while, I feel kind of regretful that we didn't do that. And now those homes, which were about $500,000, are now like about $1 million, like $800,000 or more. The houses I just passed, some of them are mixed in with other houses that are like $400,000 to $500,000, which is like a very basic house now, like one step up from a mobile and a very small yard. Those are about $400,000 or $500,000. The least amount would be $400,000. And the houses I passed are probably about $2 million homes. I can't believe there are people who living in houses like that that are that close to where I live. Honestly, they were beautiful homes. I would have taken some video of that, but I want to respect people's privacy. I did show somebody's garden, and their home was a little bit more humble. But the houses were like incredible, and I felt this little bit of a, oh, you could have that. You could have that. And I wanted to remind myself and to remind other people that, having a bigger house, having a nicer place does not make you a happier person. And the outside of your home, you see, basically other people see mostly, right? And then you see mostly the inside and the yard if you're spending time outside. But really, it's about impressing other people with how nice the outside of your house looks. So you can have a very beautiful home inside and have a very beautiful experience of life. Whereas somebody might have all those things and maybe they have to work 70 hours a week to be able to afford it. Maybe they never get to retire because they have to continue paying that mortgage. You don't know. So not to be envious is an important thing, but wow, I'm happy for those people to have such beautiful homes. They're incredible. Like some of them could have been on a magazine. They're just beautiful landscaping, beautiful gardens, nice looking neighborhoods, looked safe. I didn't see any graffiti, which was really nice to, not see that there. But we can take our homes, which are very humble, and we can have beautiful yards. We can have, take good care of what we have and maintain it in a way that shows that we have pride, not like pride, like boasting pride, but that we have, care for what we do have. And you don't spend 100% of your experience in the home that you live in. And honestly, if I was spending my entire paycheck on my home, I would feel like I could never leave it. Like, I better enjoy every ounce of this place if I'm paying all this money for it. So I'm going to go back out to my very humble, fun experience of yard selling. Those houses, wow. Beautiful. They did have a yard sale over there, but it was like all tools, which I'm sure my husband would have enjoyed, but I don't know which ones are good or whatever. So I'm going to go look at a yard sale. Come with me. That garage sale was way too busy. There was like all the cars parked down the road for it. So I just wanted to do another little reflection. So one time when I was in college, I went with one of my friends to a get together at someone's house. And when we first pulled up, I remember thinking, oh no, because it was like this tiny, rundown, really rundown looking mobile home. I remember thinking, uh-oh, it's probably gonna smell like cats. Like I had this preconceived notion of what it was gonna be like. And when we got inside of the little mobile, which was like a little tiny, tiny single wide, I couldn't believe how beautiful it was on the inside. The lady was like really into antiques and stuff, and everything was just so beautifully like coordinated and everything. And I remember thinking that was a very humbling experience for me, where I became very well of that judgmental thought that comes to our minds of like, oh no, this isn't very nice. And I actually subscribe to Homestead Tessie's videos, and I just love what she has done with her property. And that's kind of what I aspire to, is just to be happy with what you have and not to set your expectations so high, you know, and to make what you have a good thing. Because what you add to that property, what you add to that home and that life, that is your life, right? So if I had this fancy, crazy property, you know, to fit in with all the other homes, you'd probably have to have a professional landscaper and all this upkeep, and all the things I would be adding wouldn't actually be for me. They wouldn't be my ideas, my creativity, my personality. Probably have to adhere to an HOA. You know, you can't add certain colors. You can't have food growing in your front yard. And I really like to have freedom. I like to do what I want to do. As a teacher, I have all the rules in my life, you know, and as a mom and so forth. But in my own personal things, what I do with my free time, I want to be free. And, I mean, really, I'd probably fall within whatever rules there are, but I just like to have freedom. And when you have those really fancy places, you have societal expectations on you to behave in a certain way. And actually, in one of my experiences, I remember going to one of these auctions, and I remember the cost to go to the auction. I remember telling the people I worked with, I can't afford to go to the auction. The cost of the 2 tickets is like 2 days' salaries. And so the private school ended up paying for it. And when we went to the auction, there are people who are very wealthy, and they kept saying, bid on this, bid on this. And I was like, I can't bid on that. Like, and they're like, oh, but it's for a good cause. I'm like, even if it is for a good cause, I actually cannot bid on that. I bid on some like the tiny little items, like a meal at a restaurant or something. And of course I didn't win, because somebody who can afford to spend $500 on a $100 meal, those people are the ones winning those auctions. But I remember having that feeling of like, you know, I know that there are nice, wealthy people. I know that there are. I'm sure that there are. But the mannerisms and the expectations, the values that they have, they really don't sync with me at all. And I had the opportunity to rise up into a different social class, and it felt really uncomfortable. And I'll tell you, like, you pass these houses and you're like, oh, yes, that would be nice. Being able to just throw money at, you know, recreational vehicles and things like that and trips, that would be nice. But the lifestyle of the people who have those lives, it's like I don't even know if their friendships are really real and genuine. Because a lot of times when people slip out of that class, they lose their friends. So, and I wouldn't want that fear of, is this a real friend? Is this a real relationship with somebody? Because I'm in this class. If I was to slip back into lower middle class, would they still be my friend? So honestly, I'm going to tell you, like, I've lived in poverty and I could have lived in upper middle class, but I think I actually made a cognizant decision to stay where I am. And that's so weird that I would rather go I would rather go to a yard sale than some fancy auction. And that's the truth. Like, I can say that and like my nose is not growing. Like, I don't know how you feel. If you're, in upper class society, um I'm happy for you. And I hope that you have genuine friendships and that you're truly living your best life and you have that kind of freedom. And we always talk about like, oh, you have financial freedom if you had more money. But that's not really true because those funds that you have are going to be dedicated for something. That lifestyle costs so much more. And if you want to keep that lifestyle, you have to keep getting all that money to sustain it. So I feel much more relaxed in the lifestyle that I have. I can find good deals. I can find bargains. I don't, I have student loans, which are outrageous, $1,000 a month. But for people who are wealthy, that's nothing. It's a good chunk of my pay, but I always have some pocket money where I can go to a yard sale. I can, entertain myself. I'm happy going to the library and going to a park, having a picnic somewhere with my kids, and we have a very good life. And I don't think that the things that we do with our time are any less wonderful than the things that other people do. Now, sometimes my students will tell me like they're going to go on a trip to the Bahamas or Jamaica or, they're going to go, to Hawaii for the 5th time in the year. And I'm like, yeah, that would be nice. That would be fun to go and do those things. But honestly, if you look at how much joy you get from a trip, maybe that the best memories in your life, maybe the best memories in your life came from having a picnic with your family at the zoo. Like, so have a good life and don't think that having more money or having more expensive experiences is going to give you a better life. All right. So I'm going to see if I can find one more yard sale and then head home. We've arrived at a sale. This might be the last one. On the way home, if I see any more, I might stop. Let's take a look. I just found one item. It's a brand new picture frame for $2. So they have baby stuff. Really cute stuff, but just for babies. Not the right age group for my children. One of my kids' favorite things to do is when I would go yard selling when they were littler. We would do a thing I call park hopping. And so whenever we saw a park, as we were going to yard sales, we would stop and let them play for at least 15 minutes. And as soon as they seemed like they were bored or the kids they were playing with were done, then we would go to the next one. So you don't have to be rich. You just have to be creative. Have a good life. I found another one and it looks really small and the whole family is sitting in the front yard waiting for people. Oh, it feels awkward having someone stare at you. Okay, hopefully I can find something. Make them feel like they spent their Saturday worthwhile. Okay. I think my son would like that. Well, I'm really glad I stopped at the last one because I found a really neat chess set for my oldest son, and I found some wall art, Marvel wall art for my youngest son. I didn't find anything for my daughter today, which is really unusual. Well, I usually find things for her, so I guess this makes it even. But really cool. I spent $20 there, so all today's stuff was $37 total. And that was a couple hours of entertainment for me. and got my shopping urge out, and I got several things for my kids. So I think today's haul was a really good, productive one. I might do another video sometime and show you in more detail what I actually found. But I'm going to go ahead and call this a day. God bless you all. Make sure you click subscribe and like if you want to see more content like this. And my next videos will probably be about gardening and other things you can do to prepare. All right, God bless you, and I'll see you in the next episode.